On July 30th, 1864, during the American Civil War, thousands of soldiers charged into a perfectly planned assault and walked straight into a massacre. Not because the plan failed, but because the general in charge was drunk. This was the Battle of the Crater, near Petersburg, Virginia. The Union Army was trying to break the Confederate siege lines, protecting Richmond. The plan was brilliant. Union engineers dug a 511-foot tunnel under Confederate defenses. They packed it with 8,000 pounds of black powder. At 4:44 a.m., the mine exploded. The blast killed hundreds of Confederate soldiers instantly and left a massive crater 170 feet long, 60 feet wide, and 30 feet deep. The Confederate line was shattered. For a brief moment, the road to victory was open. The assault was assigned to Brigadier General James H. Ledlie, commander of the Union's 1st Division, the 9th Corps. But Ledlie never went forward. Instead of leading his men, Ledlie stayed behind the lines, inside a bomb-proof shelter, drinking alcohol. Multiple officers later testified that Ledlie was intoxicated during the battle. He issued no clear orders. He gave no guidance. Union troops, confused and unsupported, ran into the crater instead of around it. Getting trapped inside, Confederate forces quickly recovered. They surrounded the crater and fired down into it from all sides. What followed was slaughter. In just a few hours, the Union suffered nearly 4,000 casualties, killed, wounded, or captured. The chance to break the siege of Petersburg was gone. After the battle, a court of inquiry investigated the disaster. James H. Ledlie was found guilty of misconduct, incompetence, and drunkenness. Yet here's the irony of history. Ledlie was never court-martialed. He quietly resigned months later. The war dragged on for 9 more brutal months, costing tens of thousands more lives. The Battle of the Crater is remembered not as a failure of courage, not a failure of planning, but as proof that sometimes history turns on one man who should never have been allowed to lead. One explosion shook the earth. One drunk general lost the battle.